Hello friends, I make videos usually on human interpersonal relationships, life philosophy. And this video falls under the category of life philosophy and very much under the category of a controversial subject matter. You know, we judge human beings that we come across, men and women, by their accomplishments. You know, we don't judge them by their look because that's God given. They came out of their mother's womb and they look like that. You know, you never make fun of somebody because of the way they look. They can't help it. That's how they came out. But you most definitely can make fun of someone for what they've done to themselves. You know, and we've reached the point here where people that cover themselves, you know, their face and neck in tattoos, dye their hair pink, you know, put piercings in their nose and ears and corner of their mouth and tongue and whatever, and they act like that is something that you know, it should be the norm, and no one has the right to make fun of it, and you know, no one has the right to say make any comments about it, as though this is something that they were born with out of their mother's womb. I'm sorry, if you do that to yourself, expect strange looks, expect comments, and that's absolutely normal. Now, should you be treated differently? Should you be, you know, not allowed somewhere, inside somewhere? Well, to a degree, you know. I know restaurants. I grew up in, I shouldn't say grew up, but I lived in many years in England, and there are many places when I was there in the early 80s that wouldn't let you in if if you didn't have a jacket. You know. So now, you know, you see people that are covered in tattoos and piercings and pink hair, and I mean, they barely look like a human anymore, and they're wondering why they can't get a job. Well, it is the way it is. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is we judge people based on their accomplishment and not on their looks. Basically, what have you given the world? What have you done for yourself? What have you made of yourself? And what are countries? Countries are made up of people. Individual parts make the whole. Okay? So, when I say that, when I look at countries, I cannot help but to judge them. Yes, absolutely, judge them based on what they have given the world. You know, it doesn't mean that they're good people or bad people or anything in between. It means they're worthy of respect based on what they have given the world. You look at, for example, the country of, you know, I'm mentioning this because I just see a Japanese guy walk by. Let's say the country of Japan. How can you not respect what they have created in the world? You know, after being crushed after World War II, and having basically next to zero natural resources. Look what they've done. Look what they've created in the world. You know, up to 8 years ago, they were the world's #2 economy, and now they're #3 because of China. And we all know why China is now #2, because basically China is the world's factory. So now, does that mean that the Japanese are good or bad or anything in between? No, they've done some really nasty things. You know, they for example, bombed Pearl Harbor for no reason, and they got severely punished for it. You know, but we're not talking about whether they're good people or bad people. We're talking about how much respect is a country or a person worth, and why do we respect them? We respect them because of what they have given the world. You know, England. The list is long of the things that England has created. You know, we know products that we come across, you know, in everyday life, but you don't know unless you're in the industry. You don't know, for example, the medical equipment that they made, the drugs that they make, you know, the chemicals that they made, and all that stuff. And that goes for countries like Austria, Germany, you know, Italy, you name it. You know, countries that have things that unless you're in the industry, unless you use those products, unless you come across it, you know, you don't know that they make it. You know, for example, you don't know that the United States and Germany, you know, and some other countries, Japan, make the best, you know, nuclear medicine equipment unless you come across it, unless you're a doctor or unless you're in the industry selling it to hospitals. Then you respect them. You say, oh my God, look, they saved my family's, my child's life because they were able to see what, where the tumor is precisely, and they removed it. Oh wait, let's see who made this machine. Oh, for example, made in Germany by Siemens, made in Japan by Mitsubishi, for example, made in USA by General Electric. So, I say this because I see people coming on here, for example, let's say a woman comes on here on social media and constantly says how great Russia is. Oh, in Russia we have this, in Russia we have that. Russia is such a great country. Yeah, right. Well, I'm sorry. I know it's controversial. I know a lot of you are not going to like it. What has Russia given the world? And please don't tell me about their Dostoevsky and their philosophers. Yeah, fine. But we could live without them, can't we? I mean, they add to the world's literature and everything, but we could live without them. No one is gonna make an airplane, fuselage and body and say, how are we gonna equip it? Which country, which engine are we gonna use to put on these airplanes? Let's look at the Tupolev of Russia. No, they're gonna go to General Electric, they're gonna go to Smekna, they're gonna go to Rolls-Royce engine to put on that airplane. Before you say, oh, such and such country is great, such and such people are great, before ask yourself, what have they given the world? What have they produced that you and I are using every day, that saves lives, that makes life easier, that adds to the convenience? Are Russians producing any technology that you and I can use? Last I know, they're just good at hacking and destroying, information and stealing information from others. I'm mentioning the bad things because I see so much now people saying how great Russia is. Many people are under the false impression that there is globalism, which is absolutely true, and I detest, and I'm 100% against it, and that Putin is the man standing between countries, submitting to globalism, and that Putin is the hero. No, he's not. He's a criminal thug. He's a criminal thug, an ex-KGB agent who never got over, he was stationed in East Germany, Dresden, never got over the fact of Soviet Union collapsing. He never got, and he's doing his level best to somehow exert influence and control over as many countries that he can. Ukraine is not the first country that he invaded. He also invaded Georgia, annexed a part of it. He also is thinking about invading Moldova. And he also destroyed Chechnya when they wanted independence. He bombed them to a point where there were no buildings standing in the capital city of Chechnya, Grozny. So don't think Putin is your hero. I don't expect to change anybody's mind, but if you think he's so great, I dare you, go and live in Russia. And when you're living there, go on social media, go in the public and whatever, and say things that are derogatory. Say you don't like Putin. Say you think that he shouldn't be president for life or anything like that. Anyways, the point of making this video is whether or not you and I like it, people are worth equivalent to what they have given the world. What have you produced? What have you given the world? What product or service have you given to the world that is helping you and I, that is helping our families, yourself, your child? What is it that has come out of a country, for example, like Russia or Saudi Arabia? Just an example. Russia has one of the world's most abundant natural resources on the face of the planet. What have they done with it? A U.S. famous politician said Russia is a glorified gas station. The truth is not too far from it. Because what have they done with that? And in closing, in case you don't know, Russia has the world's largest arsenal of nuclear weapons. Guess how they got their nuclear technology? Did they come up with splitting atoms and fission on themselves? No. There is a spy called Klaus Fuchs who was working in New Mexico along with Oppenheimer, who was the creator of the atom bomb, and he was passing on information to Russia, and that's why Russia has nuclear weapons. And after the World War, they also stole technology from Germany as well. So it's not like something that they came up with it on themselves. Basically, that's stolen technology. Look up, please, Klaus Fuchs, Fuchs. Food for thought. All the best.